chance of finally getting that Cologne trophy in his personal cabinet. We'll have to find out. Virtus.pro versus NIP begins on Ancient. The 1x bet odds at the top of your screen favoring the Ninjas coming into this one. And they're going to be starting on the T side. Smoke and a flash for Linus, the rest on Kevlar.
How has Sanji been dropped the dualies? I'm loving it. They're giving Sanji a bit more responsibility. For once he gets the guns dropped into his hands, he will be playing within this Jaguar area. James on the other side being the bait to hope that the dualies could come through with the kills.
I have been loving our observer names so far at this event. Kendall's going to be peeking in towards top middle, and he's actually just going to lose his life. He was the player with utility, and he's gone down early to Hampus. Kicker thinks the mid play into CT's a possibility, but he had Buster also holding for that. So the A play begins to come through for NIP. The crossover, and as Rez turning back into Donut, he finds the head of Sanji. And it's 3 versus 4 right now, man advantage for NIP.
Rez still looking for more with the P250. A strong position for the post plant, but it might not even be needed. VP have lost so many members here. James and Buster are trying to find fights, but Nip can sit back and play the clock.
Oh, James going to walk forward. Linus takes an angle, and James finds the headshot. Linus down. James looking to recover a second kill with his USP. NIP are dropping like flies. Device now down as well, and James just wrapping around, trying to play with his foot, but Plopsky has taken him down from the backside. And because it took so long, VP have really no chance to get back into the site, even with the kit down at CT. So that's going to be NIP with the pistol win, and a good start into their map pick.
Good start for NIP, and something I have noticed in the Ancient games I've quickly had a little look back at is that NIP do go for those A plays more than a lot of other teams. They might throw them more in towards the start of the half because a lot of teams do like to fall back on that B site, but especially in the pistol round and maybe in some of these early gun rounds, we could see the A plays, although oftentimes they will use mid first to split that A site, which I think you really have to do. Any team that I've seen just go for a full-on A play has struggled heavily on Ancient, so definitely be seeing if Nip can continue to get that mid control. They should be fine to get it in this round because VP don't have much to work with.
Oh.
They've been liking this boost too.
Yeah, that's going to work out. Kicker, he's been taken down because of it. For NIP, it's all about limiting the casualties. You don't want to lose too much money here. You don't want to lose too many players. You want to get the money built up on the T side. For VP, we often see the second round force buy where you get the scouts out, the deagles, and they can so often compete in those kind of rounds. It's going to be the full eco for them, and NIP will not complain about that.
It's a shame that Kicker dies so far out in mid with the Deeg, because he had Kevlar with it, but Buster also has Kevlar. He would have liked to have had a chance to pick up that Deeg, but it would be possible. It's just the USPs.
Yeah, now Rez coming through with the Khalil. Got a couple of players in here. A third out to his left. Rez thought about checking it. Luckily, James has been unchecked, and he is still here, still striking, and Rez turns back. They limit the positions, and they figure out he could possibly still be in that. NIP up to a 2-0 start. For Virtus.pro, they've got the AWP out immediately into the hands of James, and this seems to be a big part of their game plan, especially on CT side here. We want to see them play out on Ancient. They did have it play one time against the CIS team Spirit, just an overtime performance there as well. So VP, I'm looking forward to seeing if they've got anything up their sleeve. They've got to know they have to practice Ancient coming into this event, right? You're going to have to play it at some point.
If you're not willing to play that nuke, if that will be a proper permaban, then you've got to be willing to play the Ancient. We'll see if they can come through on it here. James just holding mid. Easy kill onto Hampus, who might not have been expecting an AWP in such an early round.
And I think this play style in towards middle for James is really going to favor this style that he has, right? The sitting back, holding the angle. You can go aggressive if you want and take some of these early fights as well. And James is showing a willingness to do that every now and then. So I think this position with the James AWP is going to be difficult to deal with for NIP, and they're going to have to use so much utility just to negate that problem.
In general, I would expect that utility to come in, though. We shouldn't see dry peaks when they know James has the AWP. They maybe just weren't expecting it in this round. VP up a man, and James has switched up his position. Nice shot onto the first player, and he realizes he doesn't need to go back for more. They've got a two-man lead, but he might line them up. Plopsky hits the headshot, though.
I thought there was going to be a collateral there. I thought it was coming through, but for NIP, inside of the cave, they have really no other options but to try and commit out. They've got Device in the AWP himself. He's been able to pick that up. Plopsy's going to be spammed through the smoke. Sanji knows his angles, and now Device goes down as well. Yukindot with a kill, and Virtus.pro onto the board. It's that AWP that you get out for James so early that, like you said, it seemed like NIP were not really expecting it to be out this early on.
He'd definitely go for a flash at least, or likely that top mid smoke if you were anticipating the AWP to be there. He did eventually throw the top mid smoke once they spotted that AWP. And now we get a chance for Nip to buy up some AKs. And they will be aware that James has that sniper continuing to play in this mid position. It's a very common start for teams. They'll throw those mollies so that the early mid take can't come through. And if Nip want mid, they'll have to take it slightly slower. James missing that opportunity there, but Rez goes down to the nade.
That's a really cool setup coming in for Virtus.pro. I love how they're setting up James to try and get that peek down into ledge. Loving this from VP so far. It's going to be very centric around James on the CT side. This is going to be a big part of their playstyle, trying to figure out if James can get these openings. Sanji is such a good support player to try and set him up for those opportunities, but look at this. Yakindar's gone into the cave area. Polski's going to drop out from Jaguar, setting up some utility into middle, but he's still got to deal with Yakindar. And Device has come over to try and assist him in this duel. It's really difficult going in here as a T. So claustrophobic. These angles are difficult, and Plopsky, he's got the kill. Yakindar gets aggressive. That helps out. But look at James. He's repositioned again. Often in those mid-fights early, but you'll find him over here in cave, trying to get some kills in the middle of the round. 45 seconds now for NIP.
It's a strong angle for the AWP, but it also relies on the rifles holding the site, and that's what they'll do. Buster fighting aggressively. The flash is blind both players, but Device eventually able to get the kill, and James also caught off guard.
Well done from Device. Double kills drawn it back into a winnable round. But Linus again goes down, and it's all on Device. He's found one quickly on the kicker, and now it's just Sanji. All further back at CT, and Device has got to be aware of this. He peeks down, but Sanji's come in with a kill. Device thought he possibly wrapped to his right side, but Sanji holds his ground. He recovers the AWP for Jim as well. And Device, it's a close round. It's fantastic up until the 1v1. And VP, they win it out.
It looks good initially for VP, but this setup is somewhat brittle when James has to be having cover from his teammates there. He's in that position where he needs his teammates to be peeking properly into that B ramp. So you see Buster having to take a very exposed position, a very exposed angle to go ahead and hold there. So as soon as he goes down, suddenly James is in two different positions. He's caught in two minds as to where he needs to look. Can make it difficult for those riflers on the initial hold. But Nip have been forced back down to pistols. Close round, but VP have a good chance to take the lead.
Kicker. He's got the MP5 at the ready. He's going to throw his HE on in, and it does reach Plopsky and Rez. Does a little bit off the top, but it's the MP5 that will be taking up position now at Donut, because the AWP has come over, and Jim will be holding for the A play. A couple of players trying to get out now for NIP. They could go for the boost. Trying to use their utility, but they dry peek into the AWP, and Plopsky, he goes down quickly, and James has found another one. Oh, James, a third kill as well. This pistol play has been shut down, and through the smoke, he nearly lands his fourth. Damage has been done onto Linus, but the rest of the squad now coming through. James is on one. This is a really good start for him.
Picking the right position in almost every round so far. It looked like Kicker called for that rotation. He was alone initially, but a couple of players arrive at the A bomb site, and you see just how strong this temple position is. If you don't use nades to flush him out or flash him properly, he's going to go ahead and shut you down. And even when he did get blinded, he was able to land a shot. It's so hard to make those A plays work against that long-range angle. James able to peek on both sides of it. And NIP back down to a really low buy. Because of that, Kicker's willing to go aggressive. Ooh, a bit too aggressive maybe. But the CTs have come out on top early. Nice shot, Hampus, though.
A grip pick to find. And now Hampus is going to run up into middle with the Deagle. Better weapon on the floor there as well. AWP for Hampus now into his hands, and Kicker, he's doubled up. He's got his teammate here. This AWP is going to be under a lot of pressure, and a second swing from Sanji will confirm the kill for Virtus.pro. Linus now trying to get out in towards the A bomb site. He's done that well. He's got in towards Temple. The issue is he's got to hold down this position because his teammate is trying to come over with the bomb. And Sanji's in towards Donut. This position is so difficult because you've already got Temple, yes, but you still have to worry about this close position. So Rez can't get the bomb safely across because the rifle's holding. Creeps on by, spots out Sanji, but the gun is just so much better in Sanji's hands. Probably would have liked the peek there from Linus to help out Rez on the cross, and it just doesn't come in. So Sanji's given easy 1v1s. What a start from Sanji as well. 7 kills, 2 deaths. He's had a lot of important rounds in terms of stopping that Device 4K, getting VP their second round, and now again, just doing a lot of hard work for them.
And it's not been Sanji's best tournament stats-wise so far. He only has a 0.62 rating for the event. And while he's not expected to be towards the top of the charts, you want him to do a bit better than that. So nice to see some impact coming through from Sanji in that very round. For NIP, some kind of concerning signs, just that VP are getting these reads right in so many rounds. James has been really good at repositioning. That round comes somewhat close, which is good considering what they had. However, now we've got the gun round. Now we need to see some signs of success from NIP. I wouldn't mind seeing them go for that mid play, because they have been shut down here a couple of times, but I think you can just delay that mid take slightly, and once VP's nades are out, then you should be able to take over mid. You can actually see VP leaving mid wide open in this round.
Yeah. Just giving it to them. They're going to have Yukindar going a very aggressive play. He's gone all the way through Cave and now into Jaguar. It's a great position because he's got the AWP of Buster beside him. So Buster should take the initial attention away, and then the rifle can be unleashed, and easy kills should come in for Yukindar. Depends if he gets too aggressive, though. He's going to be taking the initial attention. All right, Yukindar. He's going to try and get an opening here. Flopsky about to duel him, and he will win it. The Ninja's giving the man advantage, and Buster forced back by the utility. And that's how you have to play the Cave now. You have to use that utility.
In came the smokes on the mid play. Nip have been able to close the distance. Buster using the same angle that Jane was using earlier with the AWP. They've even rotated a third man over to this B bomb site.
And NIP have struggled at getting through the Cave when an AWP is down here. It's a real tight angle you have to cross very difficultly to get that bite. You can't really find a spot to take down the AWP, and the secondary AWP's over here as well, holding off the other avenue of approach into the B site. This could get real messy for NIP real quick. The hole's looking good for VP. James missed his first shot, but again, it's Sanji close by, and he goes down to Rez. Kill from Buster, though, on the Cave. Still his. He found another one. Out to the left side. Rez goes down as well. Finally, they silenced James, but Buster's had enough, and finally, Plopsky, the man that takes him out of play, is Kicker inside of the smoke, and Plopsky's right in front of him. He has no idea. Kicker slipped by. He spotted Device go into position, but he hasn't been able to take him down. Device does not see him, and finally he will. Reveals his position, and Kicker into the 1v1 now. This is incredible from Kicker. He's looking for the last and final players. Linus, youngest addition here to NIP, holding at the bottom of the B ramp up against Kicker. He'll tap the ball and try to pull Linus into the open. He's got a good angle, but Kicker goes down. Oh, that was nearly incredible, but Kicker cannot pull it off.
The young Ninja saves the round for NIP in this one. Nice take initially from Nip. They all come in from that B ramp area, which does leave them somewhat susceptible to Cave, but they're aware of that possibility. They're aware that there could easily be that AWP in there, and you see Plopsky's just watching for it the entire time. Because they have those smokes up on the site, he can fully focus on that angle. But then Kicker made such a nice play, and that's what I think Kicker needs to do on this team. He needs to have that ability to make some of those individual moments happen, to get into some of those good positions. He can have a really good read on the game, and now Nip straight back to B.
Oh, good kill from Buster. Plopsky has gone down. And then behind the smoke, NIP sending players away. Yeah, not wanting to run through that smoke. It's an absolute disaster if you do.
That's allowed Sanji to push through mid. He heard all those nades.
Yeah, a lot of control here. Sanji's going through the water in towards spawn. Device is holding that flank. He's aware of this possibility. They know what their weaknesses are. Going to try and cover them off. It feels like a tough round for NIP.
Oh.
Device has the bomb. Sanji's got to spot him, but luckily, Device will stay alive.
Really lucky, because he was on 10 health.
And now Hampus encroaching on the B defense. Jim is over here with the AWP, but this is double stack. If Yukindar runs out and leaves the rifle there, they might think it's clear. Multi-kill potential. Buster holding the tight angle. There's no way they think Yukindar's going to be here. Buster peeks out, gets one. Hampus has hit the deck, and now NIP are down 2 players. And there's 35 seconds left. They have no control elsewhere. They have to go for the B hit. And they're going to walk into a stack of players. This is going to be a disaster for NIP.
They've taken enough time that VP have rotated some players away from B, but they're taking so much time that there's only 20 seconds left for the push to the site.
Oh, this could get real messy now. Yukindar has the rifle. He's peeked down. He gets one. Rez quickly coming out with a MAC-10, but will they check Buster? And the answer doesn't even matter because they swing into Jam, they swing into Buster, and the kills for VP come through. NIP with a terrible start to the round and really left them with no options towards the late round.
So important there that VP stop that early play, keep NIP in that choke point initially, because NIP had full nades towards the B site. You see the mollies, the flashes all flying through, but VP were able to put that smoke down and get that first kill that made NIP uncomfortable. So all those nades they threw into B ended up having no end goal in mind, unfortunately. They were hoping they could rush B, but that got countered. They couldn't follow up on their own utility, and that means as they go for that B play so late in the round, they don't have any mollies left. They can't molly that cubby position, which is so strong. They don't have enough smokes to smoke off all those spots. So huge credit to VP for stopping that early B play. A lot of teams struggle to hold that on the CT side. So they did a really good job at getting that first kill, using that smoke to their advantage, and now NIP down to a poor position, just hampers with the AK.
And VP go back to that Sanji and Jim mid control that's been working for them. They've loved this from the beginning of the game, and Sanji's going back up into the ledge. Look how much control he's got already. I'm loving the freedom Sanji gets here on Ancient. Yukindar swinging out. The AK's found the first kill for Virtus.pro. We can slow it down right now. NIP losing the first player, and now with the weaker weapons, trying to find what is available to them. They want to go towards A with 2. The bomb is still sitting towards the A side of the map. Lost control in towards ledge. Jim has found Hampus as well, and that was the AK that they had to play with. Device spotted, and now Yukindar. Nice swing out from Rez. It is at least something for NIP, but the round is just looking so unrecoverable, looking so done already, and they won't get a bomb plant out of it. Minus spotted. Sanji taking him down, and now just Rez. NIP perhaps looking for a bomb plant into this round. Rez has got to pull off some disgusting digs, and he's only got one. It's going to be 6-3. Virtus.pro are looking damn good on Ancient.
Kicker looked like he was getting excited about it too, hyping up his teammates. They're really happy with this start they've got here on Ancient. NIP thought they had found their way in because they got that B site in one of the prior rounds, so they go back to B. This time VP counter them, and now we've got to see if NIP have anything else up their sleeve. We know they have a big playbook. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go back to that mid control.
Sanji and Jim back into mid. Jim holding from top mid. Sanji throwing some utility down. He's been getting a lot of control very easily, I think it's fair to say. But Sanji does not want to go aggressive into ledge, thinking this time they're going to have the better weapons. This time they're going to be holding for that. And NIP are playing a much slower round. They have a couple of players pushed up. But right now, just slowing the pace down, waiting for an aggressive play that has been coming through for VP.
I think this is more like it. Back to those 2 mid smokes. It opens up a lot of options for you on the T side. Jame on the AWP won't have an ability to do anything towards mid. He's just stuck behind a smoke. They start to use some mollies to slowly clear ground. This is the methodical play from NIP that I was expecting on this map. They're normally a team who are quite good with their structure, quite good with their utility and taking map control. It's one of the reasons why they like Overpass as a map, even though they banned it here. They played against a lot of top teams. And now after taking that early map control, they're hoping VP won't be ready for the late B play.
The VP have 3 players over here again. They feel like when it's a slow round, is generally going to be the NIP play into the B site. I think it's quite easy for them to predict, and now smoke starts to come through. NIP looking to come out of cave, and Buster and Yukindar once again set up inside of the site. Sanji goes down this time, but Buster delivering a double. And look at Yukindar, they've forgotten about him. Hiding away in the corners, come away with 1. At least it is just 1, because that now presents a chance to NIP to still win this round. Jam and Kicker would have to pull off the retake, and Jam is coming back through cave.
AWP in hand, though. A lot of close quarters angles on B, which won't be easy to make the most of.
Oh.
Plotsky loses that duel, and now it's on Rez.
Yeah, Rez has to win out the 1 versus 2 clutch. Jam is really taking his time. All those angles he's worried about, but time is ticking. Rez could deny this with just a quick kill to get them off the bomb. And Rez is hiding in the corner. Kicker goes forward. Rez is wanted out, and now 1v1. Jam has the bomb planted on the other side of the pillar. Smoke's going in on the ramp, and Rez is going to swing into the open, and the headshot's in. NIP giving the round. I think the time really starts to put pressure on VP there, right? They come in, there's not that much time left. They can't clear all the angles, and Rez just hides in the corner.
It looked to me like VP were expecting that the player there wouldn't just sit if he was sitting behind his teammate. After Plopsky went down, it looked like VP were assuming if Rez was in that position, he'd go ahead and swing and try and trade. But instead, he just sits back, and so VP start clearing out all those other positions and take so much time doing so that they don't have the time to clear out the one spot Rez is actually in.
Especially with the bomb planted where it was, right? That's it's looking like a B ramp setup, a post plant there, but B, and now Kicker gets aggressive in towards A. I'm loving this from VP. I'm loving some of the CT aggression they've been able to bring out.
It's definitely the sort of play you throw in maybe once or twice in a half, but this is the round where you want to do it, where you have the weaker weapons. Sanji just crossing by, and Buster able to get another kill with the FAMAS. So despite VP having the weak buy, the rifles that they do have come into play early. Put Nip in a position where they need to save the round. Device is a dead man walking. Sanji able to get another one.
Yeah, you can't afford to miss that shot if you're Device. That really makes a difference in a round. Now Hampus is Galil rattling away, trying to get something. Plopsky's come out of cave with one, and it will just be one for Plopsky. Hampus running up into the side. It's a Hail Mary play with his AWP. Can he find anything? Spots the arm of one now into the Deagle, and he'll be swung by 3 players. Virtus.pro, 7 rounds now in Ancient. NIP's map pick, not looking so hot for them.
I would have loved to have seen a round early from Nip where they not just took that mid control, but they actually put a player all the way back, or they took control in towards Donut. I would have loved to have seen them actually using that mid control a bit more, because so far they've taken mid, but they haven't really used it to split a site or do much with it. So VP aren't too concerned about that. VP take attack timeout here.
Yeah, Virtus.pro going to the timeout straight away. I think NIP have used up 2 already. VP using this one up. I think it's important to win this round as well for VP because they understand, okay, if we get into the scrappy economy game that generally doesn't favor the CTA side, there's a chance NIP buy up here. There's a chance they get some better weapons. We can lose this kind of round. If we do that, then they're right back into things. And in fact, NIP would have an opportunity then to perhaps even take the lead at the half. So VP wanted to maintain the control over Ancient, and this is an important round to do that. For NIP, they've gone for a light investment. They've got a couple of Deagles, couple of Tech 9s, some utilities sprinkled in there as well, but for the most part, it should be a VP round here.
Here comes Yakindar, MP9, only good for 1. Plopsky able to trade up close, and now Sanji thinks about coming in for the flank, and Buster may need help.
Oh, it's so difficult to clear these angles as a T, but Rez does well. He's found a good shot in the Deagle. Rez is doing very well in terms of not facing too quickly after his teammates go down, right? He's not giving away those trades easily enough. He's taking his time, staying composed, and getting those kills back. Now NIP, they've got some control up towards this B site, and they're going to slow it right down.
Hampus is so far into B that if any CT tries to play from the site, they could be in trouble. Meanwhile, Linus is also taking info on A. NIP are pushed up so far on both sites, and they've spotted no one. This is hard to figure out for them now.
Linus just slipping by, getting into Temple with the Deagle. It's a good position for him to try and figure out where his opponents would be.
Can the bomb even make it, though? Because Sanji's watching mid.
Maybe you can just get the flank on into the B site, allow this plant to come into the B bomb site. Just wait on your teammates. This kill can make a big difference. Linus is taking him down. Does that cause the rotation back over to the A site is the question. Kicker starts to come and investigate, and Linus is holding it. Now they're all peeking from Jam as well. Good kill. He hasn't done enough for the flank, I don't think, here to make it too easy for NIP. Jam is still around here. The rifle there as well, and the shot's in. Now just Raz trying his best, but Kicker takes him out. I like the call there from NIP. It's kind of cool that Linus can get in behind, but I think he needs to take away at least 2 players there once he picks up that upgraded weapon. It just so happens to be the AWP waiting on the other side of the angle.
VP looks so certain that NIP are going for a lot of these B plays.
Yeah.
The fact they don't rotate over to A there is kind of crazy. They just stick around on B. They say, you know what, we're going to call your bluff. We don't think that you're going for A. And I guess when Linus starts flanking like that, you start to think to yourself, would he make that play if they were going A? Probably not. He'd probably just sit there instead and not have to force the issue. So for NIP, I would really like now a mid play and a mid split onto A. I think that's got to come in at some point just so that VP don't continue to stack this B site. It's not been easy to take, and here comes that mid play from Hampus, but there's a gap in the smoke. Oh, James watching the gap, but they could walk through the other side. I love this.
I love this as well. He's going to hold the iron goal. They're not going for it, though, and he's going to take a wider stance. James is looking into the smoke, and he's going to go down. Hampus revealed, and that's not the present James was looking for. A headshot straight through, and VP down the player.
They push through B, though. They know it's A.
And they've got a stack ready. Sanji and Kicker trying to get something done in the defense. They've got to hold on a little bit longer, and Rez has made a huge difference. NIP have got 2 big kills, and you cannot getting spotted in behind. Plopsky's taking him out, and Buster now in the 1v5. He's let Device run on by. He pulled the knife for a short moment, but Buster's going to play in the smoke. Oh, this is sneaky from Buster.
Surely not.
This could be real spice. He's letting them leave the site. Finally goes for the headshot. Could have played for the Ninja, but Buster's doing work. Found a double kill, and the Ninjas are the master of the Ninja, so they're just going to hold on. They're now watching the site, not letting him get away with anything. Device takes him down. I think Buster thought Linus seen him there, but I'm not too sure that Linus did.
It didn't seem like he had any reaction to it. It is a tough position to play for Buster there because he doesn't have the kit in his hand. He'd have to go pick one up if he wanted the Ninja. Really important kills from Rez, though, because it's another round where they run into a stack, but Rez steps up for his team. He's actually been NIP's highest-rated player in the last few months, over Device. Been in really good form as of late. Good to see Rez being a star on this NIP squad. They're up to 5 rounds, and that 1-round win is all they needed to put VP back down to an eco.
Another gap here to play with one of NIP's smokes. Sanj is going to try and get through it, but once the spray comes in, the Tracer's tracked, and Rez with his kill up into mid. Device has also found one up against the pistols. It's a really good start into the round for NIP. It's all about just making this easy for themselves, limiting the casualties, keeping the players alive, and building that money. Rez has got a headshot. Hampus now hunting down his prey. He's done well to get rid of Kicker, but look at this. He's done an AK, but Hampus spots him right behind. It's 6 as we head into the last round of the first half. NIP could get 7 out of this. And I think VP, they'll be happy with how their start is gone here for them. It's got them a lot of important rounds in the defense. They're going up against NIP, who show a real willingness to play Ancient, whereas VP haven't really got much official practice on it, right? It's all about the practice for them. We don't know how well that's going behind closed doors, so right now, I'm impressed by VP's Ancient.
And it definitely does feel different playing it in an official setting. You have to get that experience, not just in the practice games, but also in the official matches. Same boost going on for James. They've seen this a couple of times now, so I'd assume NIP are aware of the possibility. And that's the problem with that boost. You're going to do it for a little while, and then eventually you might be scared of the mid play, but they go back for it, and Rez gets caught out.
That works so well because NIP look at it, they think it's clear. They just take their liberties. They go to set up smokes, and James is ready for it. Hampus now making the play towards top ramp. It's a great kill for Device. Hampus tries to swing through, but Buster's come in with a headshot. NIP down a man, and Buster in such a strong position. He's done so much work. 16 and 8 right now in this first half, and Buster looks to try and do more. Device is on the other side. Plopsky beside him with a rifle support. But Buster's not budging. He's not giving up his position. They're trying to figure out where he is. They know he could be behind that smoke, and likely he is, but the FAMAS changes position. It's found the bomb as well. Buster finally hits the deck. Device with a headshot. Sandra and Kicker now running in towards the site itself. Lies going to throw some utility out. Molotov to keep things up, and Sanchez hit the headshot. Once again, it's Device who's down to 1 HP from the HE. But he's going to make it work in this clutch. As soon as he taps that bomb, it's a peek out from Sanji. 9-6 half for Virtus.pro. It's strong. It's a great first half on their opponent's map pick. We'll see if they can close it out after the break.
We were caught in the fire. Our faith was left out in the open. Saw the fear in your eyes. as we move through the dust. Nights turn into days, one by another. Under darkened skies, we await, bound to each other. But our spirits never die. Faded as we push through the darkest times. I'll be there by your side. We arise when everything's breaking. Our souls will awaken. Our spirits never die. At the end of the line, the trust in our hearts beating louder. Under darkened skies, we await, bound to each other. But our spirits never die. Faded as we push through the darkest times. I'll be there by your side. We arise when everything's breaking. Our souls will awaken. Our spirits never die.
Stones in a helpful hand, broken bones in a bloodstained flag. Open road and nomadic plans. Oh.
9-6 half for VP, leading the way on the Ninjas map pick. And I think coming into this one, Hawk, it's fair to say I was a little disappointed maybe with how NIP's T side played out. It felt like VP didn't let them go for any of these early executes, any of these set plays, and VP CT side was very disruptive. Now they get the chance on the T side.
They never really figured it out on that first half, but maybe the CT side will be a different story. We know VP haven't had too much match experience on Ancient, so we've got to see if their T side can step up also. They've got the molly in early, and Plopsky sitting in the smoke.
Yeah, it's a great position for Plopsky. Bomb plant starting to come down in front of him. They're trying to get in behind if possible, and this is a big issue. Smoke is down, Buster's found a double. Device and Linus both gone down, and now Plopsky inside of the side chain finds him as well. Oh, this is a nightmare for NIP. They're getting picked apart, and Hampus now has to pull off a hero play, and well, he started that. He's got a double. Oh, Hampus turns back as well. Just wasn't ready for the position of Yakindot. NIP coming close to these huge moments, coming huge clutches, but they haven't been able to get it over the line. Just these last 1v1s, VP are just winning out.
Nice early kills from Buster, cutting off that rotate, but you thought for a second Hampus was going to make it happen. Doesn't work for NIP though, and now they go down to a force buy. And this could be concerning for NIP because in their Ancient games so far, in the 8 times they've played it, their CT side has been their better side. They have a 59% win rate on their CT side of Ancient compared to just a 48% win rate on the T side. But if you go down 12-6 early, you could be in a really bad position. It could be hard to recover that. So they could do with some tricks here, and they've got one. Hampus is being boosted, but he's not been given the clear line of sight, and Yakindar just jumps in with the Mac 10 and takes out the teammate, and VP are aware of the boost.
Sanji just had his crosshair primed and ready. And Hampus eliminated from the round. No impact found from the boost play here. NIP desperately needed a quick kill to unravel the thread that is VP. But they have wrapped themselves around this B-bomb site. Bomb plant just about coming through. Device was not too far off, landing the denial. I think it's starting to look like Stave Call coming in for a nip. I mean, when you look at the money you've got, you haven't got anything for the next round. You got to save these. Get a little bit of Kevlar in the next round, a chance to compete at least. But Virtus.pro, that round was just so simple for them, right? Yekindar gets into Kiv. They stop that boost from NIP. Keeping the money afloat, looking strong, 11-6.
That's what I'd expect Yekindar to be doing a lot on this T side too. On that B side of the map, there are lots of fair fights you can take. And we know Yekindar is a very confident man in those early fights. For VP, he attempts 34% of their openers on T side. Just goes to show that he is so important to opening up the rounds for them. It's one of the highest numbers in the world in terms of players attempting that opening duel on the T side. So Yekindar could be very important because that B side especially, you can just get a lot of fair fights. And we also saw VP stack that B side very heavily on their CT side. So I wonder if VP on their T side think that the B side will be the easier one to take. Maybe they themselves are stacking B because they think it's easy to go ahead and push it.
We certainly see a lot of these executes in towards this side of the map, and Yekindar is going to continue to try and mow them down. He's gone in, really good stuff from Yekindar, getting the second as well. Linus has gone down, and Virtus.pro handed a two-man advantage. Not only that, but Yekindar is also picking up money, and he's got another one. Device added to the collection of skulls, and Yekindar's back pocket. He's got a huge back pocket.
Probably has a backpack on.
Yeah, I'd say so. The amount of kills he's getting right now. And Hampus looking for some picks of his own. He's got one in the deagle. Rez has been able to find a headshot. And now it is just Rez. Stuck in behind the smokes that begin to fade away. Because of that, his chances there for another kill, but Yekindar's had enough. A 4K for him. Upgrades from the MAC-10 to the FAMAS, and finally the AK-47. His guns are like Pokemon. They evolve.
They have been able to get up to the better weapons, but so have NIP. Double AWP set up for them, and I'm not going to call it a must-win round, but it is getting to that point where if you don't win this one, VP will have a massive lead, and you will have a hard time coming back. Here are the smokes and mollies you see so often on the early mid control. Molly for the close so that no one can push early, smoke in behind so that no one can push into it, and Plopsky goes ahead and just takes that early fight. James trying to force the issue, but it doesn't work out for him.
Great start to the round, and NIP desperately need every edge they can get. Virtus.pro are pretty good at playing in the 4v5, though. See if they can pull that off. Buster looking for the pick on towards the fight. Oh, he's going to find it as well, isn't he? Plopsky's gone down. Huge opening into the B site. Linus gets found as well. Buster is just having an absolute blinder of a game. And Device has finally put him in the grave in this one, but look at the position of Yekindar. Device is scoped in. Oh, he's about to find him. Device is about to go down. Oh, but the timing has allowed Device to get around the corner, and Yekindar still flanking him, still trying to get in behind, and Device, he walks right into the AK. Headshot for Yekindar. Now AWP picked up as well to hold the long-range fight. Hampus is in middle and is going for some of that aggressive stance, but Yekindar, oh, the angle held with the AWP, and Kicker finds Hampus. It starts with a round win for Nip. It starts with a man advantage, should I say, but it's a round win for VP as they pull it back in the 4v5.
Beautiful round from VP, and you see exactly what I was talking about earlier, where Ts are very comfortable just taking those fights up the B ramp with the AK. There are a few angles you have to be aware of, but it's generally a good fight for the T side, and I'm really glad we see Buster taking the initiative, because he is a player who can be very good at making those plays, very good at making those aggressive moves, but when Yekindar joined this team, Buster actually gave up a lot of those spots to give them to Yekindar. They put a lot of emphasis on the young gun. Buster can still make those plays every now and then, though, and I'm glad we're seeing it here when he's having a good game.
And we've seen it last night versus Complexity as well, right? Buster was having a brilliant performance over there, and he's continued it into today against NIP. 13-6 right now for Virtus.pro on NIP's map pick. The worrying part is, Hulka, we talked about the veto going into this one. We said if NIP are to win this series, I think they've got to do it on Ancient. I think they've got to win this map.
Inferno up next is definitely a good one for the VP guys. Nice flash for kick up, but Rez We'll get the trade. Sanji's there to back up his teammate, though. Smokes into the A site should make this take even easier because those kills were so quick. NIP unable to get into position in time.
Well, that Molotov going down, burning away in front of the smoke, and Linus is going to try and see what he can find. Device is there helping him out from Temple, but these smokes and mollies are making things very difficult for NIP to really get anything out of it. Not a single chance for the body shots. Now Buster's taking a deeper position in Temple. If Device is to swing around, he's got to commit to this fight. And it's going to be difficult against the rifle in that position. Bosky's hit a nice one, but Sanji's quick to reply. And now Linus just sitting back, just waiting out the smokes. And now he's going to hit the headshot onto Jim. That's the AWP down. He's got so much money over for EP, it doesn't really matter. $11,000 for Jim. Don't get the AWP towards the end. It's 14-6. NIP are going to buy again. AWP out for Device. AWP out for Rez as well. I think now you're sort of scraping the bottom of the barrel. You need a gun round here, so you got to do everything you can just to pick it up.
He went for this double AWP setup earlier. Didn't work out for them, but Rez has clearly been their best player so far. He's had their best moments. He's been their shining light. So getting him that AWP could be a good solution. He is playing on that A-bomb site as well, where you have those strong angles into Temple. Really, though, we've got to see those B players step up, because that previous gun round was one where VP were able to run in a little too easily for NIP's liking. The other tough thing right now about playing this B site is you can use your utility, and it can cut off these tight choke points, but you don't want to use the utility too early, because then a full-on execute into B can easily shut it down. So I like that Device is now just holding that ramp with the AWP. Makes it much more difficult for Buster to just walk up and get the entries, as he did in the previous round. And because of that, VP are taking a slower start to this one, focusing on the mid control. And they're all the way up.
Yeah, they've got a lot of control. VP will not be complaining about the start to the round, even though they haven't found a kill, but they have got a lot of control of the map, and that does put pressure on NIP. Whereas Pro have options now. For NIP, they don't have a whole lot of info here at all. Hampus is going to be playing towards Donut, holding that down, but the play from VP starts to go over towards B. Luckily for the Ninjas, they've got 3 players towards this side of the map. You've got Device over here with the AWP, Linus helping him out with the AUG. They've really got to do something with Plopsky in towards Cubby. So this is a good setup right now, and Device saw the timing. He was watching it towards middle, but look at this, Yakindar is going to get in behind them. Plopsky's gone down, Sanchez got the opening. Oh, this could get real nasty, because remember, there's a flank coming in, but Yakindar's been found. Rez sees him, and that's going to be a big factor in the round now, because that keeps NIP afloat.
Linus still sitting behind that smoke, but they need a kill soon here. VP's post-plant positions are still pretty good. Device is desperately searching, and Sanji's still on the site.
Linus is going to try and get forward, but Buster's come in with a headshot. Device is reply with one, but that's not going to be enough. Hampus now, alone with the time ticking, he realizes he cannot win the round, and NIP just cannot get a round win here. VP just keep moving forward. It's 15-6. Virtus.pro looking very prepared on entry. They have so many cool rounds, good mid-control, dropping back, composure in these T rounds. NIP are struggling on their map pick completely. They just beat Gambit 16-10 on this yesterday as well. This should be a better performance from Ninjas, but VP have impressed us. There's not much to go on for the VP side.
The nice thing about that round for VP was you take the mid control, you get so far up that Device, who was having that AWP just fully focused on the B site, goes back and watches the flank. He's not in that same advanced angle where he's able to have an early influence on the outcome of the round. Final timeout taken by NIP here, because this has not been going according to plan for them. And even in the retake there, Hampus was maybe slightly too slow for my liking coming in from Jaguar, because Kicker was in Cave holding for that, but then Kicker was allowed the ability to move back to Cave and to focus on the site. He was the man that took that fight with Sanji onto Device at the end there. They were able to 2v1 that fight, and then Hampus was slightly too late to the party, sadly. It's just not been going right for NIP right now. This B site is a hard one to hold, and you're seeing why. VP with a nice execute and a 15-6 lead, a chance for a 16-6 win.
You can see why VP stacked a lot on the CT side. They know, from what we know, T-Slides just abuse the B-bomb site, so we'll just have players over here all the time. And they're doing that on their T side. NIP using up. Look how many they've used.
Yeah.
4 Molotovs into that position just to try and deny that control. But they don't seize it. They don't take that control. And because of that, VP now just take control.
I was about to say, using 4 mollies there is just too much, because now if the late play comes in, if the late execute comes in, it's going to be really hard to deny that.
I wonder
You
if
want the
VP
mollies.
just slow it down now. They used up so much utility. Let's just get the rest out of them. And now we just got an easy execute in towards the site.
That's basically what happened in the previous round. They waited late, they went for the B play. It was successful. Still flashes available for NIP. That's a way you can try and take some ground. You can try and take some aggressive plays. Oh, Hampers almost with the lineup, but Jame able to trade. Rez has to duck back, and Yakindar is pushed all the way up into Cave, and Nip are effectively out of nades now. They just have a couple of smokes left.
Yeah, I wonder if that could have made a difference there. Hampers really could have changed it up for NIP if he gets the double. Virtus.pro now leaning towards this B site. I don't have faith right now in the weapons holding over here. MP9 and a Deagle, Plopsky and Linus. Not even inside of the site itself. They can be abused by utility. Smokes isolated the fight into just one, and Linus has a gap to play with, but he hasn't been able to get a kill. And for Virtus.pro, that bomb plant starts to come through, planted onto default. Still remember, there's a gap in that smoke, but right through it, Yakindar spots his kill. Device has found the reply quite quickly. But again, this post plant, you've got Buster inside the site. Kicker looking to stand by him, but they're both committed into the site, and Plopsy got the lineup of 2. The MP9's won it out, and James is actually just going to drop back. He's not even going to compete for the round win. He's going to give this one away. And NIP, they pull off the retake, and it's Plopsky on the double kill that comes out of nowhere.
And what VP were doing so well in those earlier rounds was making sure they had their players close together to line up trade kills. This time they're a little too close. That's the problem for them. They both line up. They weren't expecting Plopsky to be further out of that angle than he actually was. That means they line up for the spray down. And VP tried to stay compact, but instead end up lining up for Plopsky. So nice round for Nip. Still a long way to go, though.
Device just taking mid-control as the Chi goes soaring on in. It's not going to reach anybody, though, for Virtus.pro. Plopsky and Linus doubling up in towards Jaguar. This setup is definitely interesting to take a look at, but that Molotov might just change it all, but instead that goes out to the right side. I think Yakindar can get away with 1 kill here, but I don't think he gets away with a double. The setup should confirm control, in particular because Yakindar is alone, so he doesn't have anybody to trade him out. He goes around the corner, and he doesn't even get a single kill. Really good hold so far here from NIP. I'm liking this cave control from them.
Yeah, it's nice to control one side of B early and really focus your attention there, because even if VP get onto the B site, that cave angle is quite strong to still compete and potentially deny that bomb plant as it's coming in later. Now we see VP coming back to A for the first time, but NIP have a couple of players lying in wait.
I like the setup they've got right now as well. Rez seems to be playing in behind this box. At least he was, just staying crouched down. The attention would be drawn by Hampus, who can safely fall back in behind Temple. Then they focus on getting rid of him, and because of that, then Rez can peek out of his position and strike with Fire and Fury. But here comes the attack. NIP have held on to some nades, still throwing them down into main. They're keeping them back. They're keeping them at bay because another smoke's just come in, and there's 19 seconds left. This is going to be a 4-man save for VP.
Time to give up on the round. Can't blame them for this one. This is one that is not going to be going their way. Makes sense to save the guns. They do also have a good bit of money in the bank.
Also, great job for NIP to understand, all right, just save on their utility this time. Don't use it up early. And you can see what that really does make a difference a lot of the time up against Virtus.pro, right? You can just get those nades in. They still had 2 smokes left on the A bomb site with a couple of seconds left. They just throw it down, and it's enough to scare VP away. If NIP can continue to hold on to that utility, they can definitely be in with a much more comfortable CT half here. But Virtus.pro, still looking good, still got the buy. They've had a lot of money because they've been winning rounds. So NIP, it doesn't get any easier for them. They've got to do it again in this one.
It's really nice having a couple of AKs on that CT side. It makes it much more difficult for VP to just walk up B ramp and try and take that aim fight. They know there could be an AK on the other side, which could hit them with the quick headshot. Popsky in particular needs to be the player who steps up on that B site for me. He normally gets set up for the success. Linus is generally going to try and assist him, and then Plopsky has to be that anchor player. And that B site, it doesn't have the stars for Nip. It has some of the younger players, some of the players that could struggle at times. Plopsky's even taken a bit of damage early there.
He's getting chunked down, but still alive, still kicking. No man advantage for Virtus.pro. Seems like they want to go back towards A. They tried this in the late round. They're going to do it a little earlier now. But again, it's full set utility right now for Rez. Hampers as well has got a smoke. It's going to be the same scenario, but here comes the attack. They're not going to be able to get that utility out quick enough. And Sanji's gone down very quickly indeed. And there's no trade, there's no spacing there. And Rez is still hiding behind this default box. He's not even needed because Hampus is getting every kill. And finally Rez peeks up. It's just so off and the bomb's down. You've still got two players, your two biggest entries on the other side of the map. Virtus.pro pretty disjointed in this one.
Yeah, this is an ugly round. A real ugly round. Because if you're fully committing to A, these players on B aren't doing anything at this point. They weren't selling the fake. They were just taking the B site as the A play was happening.
And they're sending Sanji in as the entry, right? And he's alone. He doesn't have anybody. And if there is a player to do that, it would be Yukindar or Buster that's able to pull those kind of solo entries off and at least confirm you a kill. But Sanji doesn't really get in those situations as often. So I feel like that round's just very disjointed. I don't know what they're expecting the B players to do.
It's hard when, in some of these rounds for VP, it's hard when I'm really just trying to figure out what the goal of the round is.
Yeah.
Because this round just doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm really trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, but I really don't understand what the aim there is.
You know, we would love to sit down in a room with James and have a 1 hour conversation about it.
Absolutely.
Just like pull out some rounds, just like have some preparation time to go ahead and pick out some rounds and then just show them to him and ask him what was his thought process. Because it would be interesting to see how he thinks about the game.
Well, this looks more like it. Back to the B side, back to a fast play. They have a clear plan in mind.
Plopsky can hold. He's got one, but that's not going to be enough because the MAC-10 is quickly in reply, and that is going to give the site to Virtus.pro.
On the site, can they get the bomb down? It looks like it. They've gained ground, and Linus isn't ready for the aggression.
And Sanji just kept running. The MAC-10's found another, and now Yukindar is going to throw that smoke down. That took so much control, and in fact, it isolates NIP, but they've got to go with this. They have to attempt the round win. If not, this one's done. And they start to go through, Rez through the smoke, gets Yukindar out of play. It's still a 3v3 now for Nip. They're trying to find their way through, but again, it's Sanji close to the MAC-10, cleared out by Hampus. Jame and Buster now in a 2v3 post plant, but the bomb, it's still planted. The smoke down in front of Buster, trying to get them off of it. The defuse are starting to come through, and Buster's just killing everybody through the smoke. Hampus has found a headshot. Buster in the 1v1, and the time's too far gone. VP have done it. They have taken down NIP on Ancient. This is the Swedes' map pick. This is their go-to, and it's gone against them here in this elimination match. We might be seeing them exit the tournament. Coming up next will be the second map of the series. It's Inferno